Welcome to A Moment of Zen. Time to sit back and relax as model, actress, mentor, and supermom Zen Sams takes you on a sexy and wild ride, covering the latest in film, fashion, pop culture, cryptocurrency, fintech, cannabis, and entertainment from the millennial mom's perspective. Here's your host, Zen Sams.
Hello, my beautiful tri-state area. Welcome to our 178th episode. It's always such a pleasure to spend my time with you on the airwaves. Thank you for listening and interacting with me all over social media. It truly makes it all worthwhile. I read all your comments. Please make sure to continue following me at Zen Sams. That's Zen with an X, not a Z. Also remember that all of our episodes stream 24/7 on your home TV in Kathy, Ireland, worldwide. And of course, you could always find us on our YouTube channel at Zen Sams. Tonight in the Hydration with Heart segment brought to you by Once Upon a Coconut, in the featured artist segment, we are going to be joined by a very talented young man by the name of Tony Marino. He's a 21-year-old independent artist and producer from Long Island. He's going to join me today to chat all about the evolution of his music journey from just 12 years old to what inspired him and how social media has influenced his career. Recently, he's put out a single called Hayastan, and he will definitely be chatting with us about what inspired his Armenian dance hit. In the Going Deep segment brought to you by CO2 Lift, we're headed to Lewis Dermatology and Associates right here in the Upper East Side, New York City. We're going to be chatting with Dr. Amy Lewis herself. Her premier practice specializes in cosmetic and laser dermatology. Get ready for that wedding weekend, whether it's your day or someone else's big day that you're celebrating. We're going to chat about the latest laser and skin trends to elongate your neck and give you that instant facelift for the big day. We're also going to chat about how to put some extra honey in your honeymoon. For all you techno enthusiasts out there in the Discover Your Potential segment brought to you by Keep the Past, host Anna DeVere chats global game changers and how they're using artificial intelligence for good. Up next in the regular Hydration with Heart segment, it's a double one for them tonight, brought to you by Once Upon a Coconut. We're featuring Dr. Emily Splichal. She's a functional podiatrist and human movement specialist. She's the CEO and founder of Naboso, which is a company providing sensory-based products to optimize your foot health and movement. Stay tuned for Emily coming right up next. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Your Home TV with Kathy Ireland and their channel partners. Head to yourhometv.com for free, family-friendly programming, streaming 24/7.
Do you have the dream of starting and owning your own business, or know of someone who does? If so, check out Your Home Business program, where they inspire, equip, and encourage those who dream of owning and operating their own business. Check out Your Home Business on yourhometv.com.
Tune in to A Moment of Zen, Saturday nights from 9 to 10 p.m. on 710 WOR, the voice of New York.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Once Upon a Coconut.
Discover the refreshing taste of 100% pure coconut water that actually tastes great. Naturally sweet with no artificial flavors or added sugar. It's packed with electrolytes to keep you hydrated throughout your day. And with 10% of profits going to charity, every sip makes a difference. Pure taste, pure goodness. Experience nature's Gatorade. Visit Once Upon a Coconut or naturesgatorade.com. Welcome back, beautiful tri-state area. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Up next in the Hydration with Heart segment brought to you by Once Upon a Coconut. Today, we're featuring Dr. Emily Splichal. She's a functional podiatrist and human movement specialist. She's the CEO and founder of Naboso, which is a company providing sensory-based products to optimize your foot health and movement. With over 23 years in the fitness industry, she's dedicated her medical career towards studying postural alignment and human movement as it relates to barefoot science, foot-to-core integration, and sensory integration. Spreading her knowledge, she's taught in 35 countries and to over 25,000 professionals, and she's also the author of Barefoot Strong. Of course she is. She joins me today to help us unlock the secrets of hydration and chat about how coconut water and proper electrolyte balance prevent painful foot spasms while boosting overall health. We'll also get insight on what your feet may secretly be revealing about your health. Welcoming now to the show is the amazing Dr. Emily Splichal.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to talk about feet.
Let's get to it. So we can make anything sound fun and sexy on this show. So, fact is that about 60% of the human body is water, and staying hydrated isn't just about quenching thirst, it's cornerstone of good health. And stepping into wellness begins with the critical role of hydration and electrolyte balance. Now, doctor, can you tell us, especially in preventing myalgia and enhancing foot health with coconut water, how does proper hydration influence our overall health, especially from a podiatrist's perspective?
Yes, when I think about feet, I think about circulation and foot recovery and proper hydration. Having a balance of appropriate electrolytes is really important to overall foot health, foot recovery. And as I said earlier, a big component of that is microcirculation.
Wow, that's interesting. Microcirculation. It always comes down to blood flow, right? Now, our feet often get overlooked, but they can be like a secret diary of our overall health from what you just said, circulation issues to nutritional deficiencies. Our feet might, in fact, be telling us more than we realize. So, what are some surprising things our feet can reveal about our overall health? Talk to us about some of the more intriguing revelations that you've come across.
Yeah, so our feet definitely tell us a story. They tell us a story about how we move. And what's interesting is the different calluses and where you see pressure points on the foot will actually tell me when I'm assessing movement how that person is moving without me even ever watching them move. So that's a really fascinating part of our feet. Also, certain skin conditions and nail conditions that are associated with diabetes and lupus and other inflammatory conditions, oftentimes they show up first in the feet. So it might actually be your podiatrist that helps lead to the diagnosis of a larger medical condition.
Wow. I never thought of it like that, but you just put things into perspective. And of course, I believe, the top and the bottom, the feet and the head, there's a lot that goes on there. Now, according to the National Academies of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine, men should aim for about 3.7 liters of fluids a day and women about 2.7. That's a lot of water, but it's essential. Why is it important to maintain proper hydration levels throughout the day? And what are some signs that we might not be drinking enough water?
Yeah, actually, dehydration is one of the most common conditions that you actually see in the elderly that leads to confusion, fatigue. It can actually lead to passing out if you do not have enough hydration. I work a lot with athletes, so I'm always thinking about recovery, really from your skin to your hair to your thought process of your brain to your recovery to how you move is really based around maintaining a proper hydration level. And I would just assume that most people are dehydrated.
You're right. Around 75% of Americans are chronically dehydrated statistically, and you would have to wonder why so many people are feeling sluggish or out of sorts. The first go to is, well, did you drink enough water today? And the answer is, I don't recall drinking water today. So let's go to something that can help all of this. Coconut water contains about 4 to 500 milligrams of potassium per cup, which is more than a banana. Talk about a powerful drink. How do electrolytes like potassium found in coconut water contribute to our overall health and well being?
So electrolytes, this would be your potassium, your sodium, your chloride, thinking like salt, right? These nutrients that are really important to every process. So the way that your muscles contract. Remember, your heart is a muscle, so that's an important part of it. How you recover, how you move, the quality of your skin, and then brain processes. So electrolyte balance is a very underappreciated side of really hydration and movement and recovery. Coconut water gives the highest ROI compared to either a sports drink or a traditional just plain glass of water.
I love that you said it gives the highest ROI. That put another thing into perspective right there. And some athletes, I think most athletes that I've interviewed, swear by coconut water, calling it nature's sports drink. So Mother Nature really does know best. Now, what are the benefits of coconut water for those who lead active lifestyles compared to traditional sports drinks?
Yes, you can think of coconut water as low calorie, high electrolyte, and it's actually antimicrobial as well. So you are getting a very fast rehydration, let's say after a workout or it's hot, you're sweating, things like that, where you're drinking it, you know you're not going to get a lot of sugar that you see in other sports drinks. But then again, you're getting those invaluable electrolytes that we need to maintain that balance.
Yep. In fact, a study in the Journal of Physiological Anthropology found that coconut water is as effective as sports drinks in hydration and recovery, if not performs better within on a circular level. But looks like the coconut might just be might just be beating the Gatorade at this point right now if you look at the hype. Now, can you share insights on how coconut water supports recovery? Because I know recovery is something that you talk about a lot post exercise.
Yep. So recovery post exercise, let's say you're lifting weights, you're doing something that's actually damaging the muscles. That's how you become stronger. Is you stress the muscles. You actually micro injure the muscles. So then bringing in these electrolytes, specifically potassium is what's most known for muscle repair, muscle recovery. You are then allowing the body to repair itself. So then you can get the benefit of the workout at which you just performed. So a lot of people work out, but then don't give the body what it needs after the workout. And it's kind of like taking one step forward, half a step back. We want to be really smart on what we do after we work out.
You're right. It feels counterproductive. So it's important to continue the momentum post workout. Now, why is it essential to pay attention to foot health? Who would have thought foot health in the context of overall proper nutrition, hydration, and health?
I mean, really, our feet are our body's foundation to movement. So if you want to keep working out, you want to keep moving, doing all the activities you love to do, your feet play a very important part of that. It's the only contact point between the body and the ground. So foot health, foot strength, foot recovery is really this foundational component to what I consider movement longevity. And we all want to move for a long time.
I couldn't agree more. Now, the average adult loses up to 2 liters of water a day through sweat, and even more if you're exercising. It's almost like having a leaky faucet, right? Up to 60% of adults experience muscle cramps at some point, often due to dehydration or an imbalance of electrolytes. Doc, Doctor, please tell me, how does dehydration or excess loss of electrolytes lead to muscle cramping, and what can we do to prevent it?
Yeah, so what's happening when we sweat is you are losing a lot of these electrolytes, potassium, sodium, chloride, the things that are important for maintaining muscle balance. Also, this is a natural part of what happens at night. So our body actually dehydrates naturally during the night, which is why if anyone's ever experienced foot cramps, they're usually at night. And they say that their toes just contract and they can't get them to release. A lot of that is demonstrating this combination of dehydration, insufficient foot and muscle recovery. So that's the soft tissue work. And then bringing in that balance of electrolytes for muscles, it's really the potassium.
Wow. No one likes waking up in the middle of the night with a Charlie horse, and staying hydrated might just save our sleep, apparently. Now, why are foot cramps so common? And this electrolyte balance, is there a direct correlation between the kidney, the liver, and how this is all processing? And is constant foot cramping symptomatic of a bigger health issue?
Foot cramping can, yes, be indicative of a larger systemic issue. I do think that a lot of foot cramps are because of insufficient attention to the feet. People are not recovering their feet. They don't think about strengthening their feet, and they really get neglected. That combined with dehydration or insufficient hydration throughout the day, lots of caffeine, lots of coffee. So you're kind of throwing off that balance. That combination is really contributing to these foot cramps that we see. And it happens actually a little bit more with age. This dehydration spectrum becomes more prevalent as we age.
Well, we are officially out of time. Thank you so much for your insight, your transparency, for teaching us something extremely helpful with our everyday lives and helping us put our best foot forward, literally, no pun intended. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
That was our Hydration with Heart segment, brought to you by Once Upon a Coconut. That was the incredible functional podiatrist and human movement specialist, Dr. Emily Splichal. Definitely be sure to check her out and her company at naboso.com or dremilysplichal.com. And on the gram, you can find her profile at the Functional Foot Doc and at Naboso_technology. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Once Upon a Coconut.
Discover the refreshing taste of 100% pure coconut water that actually tastes great. Naturally sweet with no artificial flavors or added sugar. It's packed with electrolytes to keep you hydrated throughout your day. And with 10% of profits going to charity, every sip makes a difference. Pure taste, pure goodness. Experience nature's Gatorade. Visit Once Upon a Coconut or naturesgatorade.com.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Your Home TV with Kathy Ireland and their channel partners. Head to yourhometv.com for free, family-friendly programming, streaming 24/7.
The Kelly Williams Show is brought to you by Serendipity Yacht Cruises and Events. Tune in and turn on your happy. Kelly Williams is full of energy and incredible guests. Watch her anytime, free programming on Your Home TV network, and do follow her on social media for a chance to win monthly prizes. Check out The Kelly Williams Show on yourhometv.com.
Tune in to A Moment of Zen, Saturday nights from 9 to 10 p.m. on 710 WOR, the voice of New York.
Welcome back, beautiful tri-state area. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Up next in the Hydration with Heart segment, brought to you by Once Upon a Coconut. Tonight, we're joined by the very talented Tony Marino. He's a 21-year-old independent artist and producer from Long Island, right here in New York, with a variety of sounds in his catalog, from a unique mix of house and rap to Afro beats and R&B, all the way to hip-hop. Aside from writing his own lyrics, he also produces his own beats and co-engineers his own tracks in the studio. Now, in the summer of 2021, Tony released his EP, Where Was the Love? And that was hosted by heavy hitter DJ Drewski. And most recently, he put out a single called Hayastan. It's an Armenian dance hit. He's going to join me to chat all about the evolution of his music journey from just 12 years old to what inspired him and how social media has influenced his career. Welcoming now to the show is the incredible Tony Marino. Welcome, superstar.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. So let's jump right in. Before we dive into the beats and the stories behind everything that you do, let's take a moment to appreciate the magic of coconut water, right? A little hydration love, if you will, because what better way to fuel a conversation about music than with something refreshing right there, coconut water. So welcome to the Hydration with Heart artist feature brought to you by Once Upon a Coconut. I'm so excited to dive right in. Now, before we talk about your most recent release, let's first take a look back. We had you on the show about 3.5 years ago or 4 years ago, back in 2021. But I know you've been into music since you were 12 years old, posting covers of popular songs on social media, and you've released your first single back in 2016. You were just a teenager. How did you discover your passion for music, and where did you realize, and when, more importantly, where were you at that moment in your life where you realized you wanted to pursue this professionally?
So, I mean, ever since I was a little kid, music's always just been a big part of my life. I think it's kind of instilled in me, especially being an Armenian. Armenians, like, music and dancing is just like a big part of the culture. And I've just always had that natural incline and passion towards music, just growing up listening to artists like Michael Jackson, 50 Cent, Drake. And eventually I just decided I'd take a little dive into it just to try something new. When I was still young, I was around 12, 13 years old. And I started, as you said, I started posting covers on social media. I got a little bit of a fan base going on my YouTube and my Instagram. And then eventually the growth didn't stop. And I figured it'd be a good idea to take it to the next level and pursue it as a serious career. Around I would say 2018 is when I fully decided this is what I'm going to be doing in my life. And I dropped my first EP when I was in 2018. And ever since then, I've just been going harder, growing as an artist. As you said, I produce my own records now. I even edit music videos. I'm just in complete control on the creative side. And yeah, it's only leveling up as time goes on. So
I love everything I'm hearing. You are on track. You are an entrepreneur. Not only are you an artist and you have a good head on your shoulders, but I know that you have your family's full support, which is so incredibly
Absolutely.
important. Now, you've been chasing beats longer than most of us have been chasing trends on TikTok. I mean, starting at 12 and now you're 21. I mean, you're practically a veteran in the music game. Did you know that by age 21, not only about 8% of musicians have gained notable recognition. So you should really pat yourself on the back. You have something to totally be proud of. You're ahead of the curve.
I appreciate that, but I'm always striving for more, though.
Now, how do you feel your music has evolved since you first started?
I definitely found myself more as an artist over time. Starting out, I wasn't writing my own music. I wasn't producing. And then I just, as a creative, I needed everything to be perfect, and I needed it to be my vision completely. So I basically took over everything on the creative side, the editing, the producing, the writing. And I've only gotten better as an artist. I've branched out. I started out doing pop and hip hop, and then I branched out to house music, to Afro beats, to R&B. I feel like it's important as an artist to be diverse, and I just love all types of music. Good music is good music, so I've definitely branched out and expanded my palette, you could say.
Definitely. And the ability to adapt and grow is what keeps things fresh, right?
Absolutely.
Much like the versatility of coconut water, equally refreshing.
Absolutely.
Whether you're in a tropical paradise or stuck right here in New York City traffic. Now, let's chat about your most recent single.
Hi, Astan. You actually nailed it.
Did I say it right?
Yeah, you nailed it.
Look at that. What was the inspiration behind the song? And in general, what themes and messages do you look to really address through your music?
Yeah, so what I've been looking to do an Armenian, being that I'm half Armenian myself, I've been looking to do an Armenian song for the past few years. But the idea never came to me because I wanted to really make my own lane. I didn't want to do something that's already been done with Armenian music. There's a bunch of creatives who, paved their way and have made great music, but I wanted to do something that would make me stand out as an artist. And I finally came up with the idea of taking a traditional sound and mixing my modern club and hip hop fusion into it, and people are loving it. I really just wanted to put this song out and be able to bring attention to my people and my culture and shine a light on it and make something that not only Armenians could listen to, but the whole world could listen to. And like I said, just bring attention to my culture.
You've definitely made the Armenian community proud and without a doubt your family.
Thank
Now,
you.
with Ayastan, you've truly captured something unique. It's really not just a great Armenian song, but it's a great Armenian dance hit. Did you know that music inspired by cultural roots, and this is a true statistic, most likely leads to a 20% increase in fan engagement? And
No,
I'm
absolutely.
interested to hear about if your Armenian fan base increased when you dropped the
Oh,
song.
absolutely. Yeah, I've been still to this day getting nonstop love and support messages, comments, shares. Like everyone in the Armenian community is going crazy, showing so much love, and I'm so grateful for that. And yeah, I'm so excited to see what else is to come from this. I really want this to be a big hit, and I love to see my people on the map.
It's all about keeping it real. Now, most people create boundaries between their work life and their personal life. However, when it comes to the life of an artist, this distinction becomes a bit more unclear because artists find inspiration for their music from their own lives
Mhm.
and experiences. Now, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. What role does your personal life play in your music, and how do you find a healthy work-life balance while you're constantly producing, recording, and performing?
I definitely think that my work, it doesn't necessarily take away from my personal life because some people look at it as, oh, I'm always working and I never have time to chill. But I kind of look at it in a different way. I'm a really needy person in the sense that I need to be busy all the time. Like whenever anything's stagnant, I just don't, it doesn't feel right. I always need to be doing something. I always want to feel like I'm getting something done. I have a planned out day and I try to maximize I try to get as much done in one day as I can. And I try to prioritize work over free time, but when I am free, I do like to spend time with my friends. I have a great friend group, and when I'm not working, I'm in the gym training usually, but work does take up a majority of my life. I don't sleep much, and I'm always working, and I'm always looking to advance my career and do something new and always make some type of advancement every single day.
Yeah, well, you're definitely doing that. Now, you work in a wide variety of genres, from house and rap to Afro beats to R&B and hip hop. Why do you find it important to diversify your sound? And are there any other genres per se or styles of music that you'd like to explore that you haven't yet?
I just feel like it's important as an artist to diversify your sound because making the same type of music over and over again, I feel like the listener's going to get bored. Uh, a lot of artists nowadays come and go very fast, I feel like, because they're unable to diversify. You may be good at one thing, but it's going to get old after a while. And me, myself, I just listen to all types of different music. And I like all types of music, and it's really whatever I feel in the moment. One day I could feel like making a sad R&B record. One day I could feel like making a hype house club song. So it's really what I'm feeling in the moment. And I like to always keep the listener surprised and engaged and ready to see what's next. It's always something new on the way.
Diversification is key. And
Absolutely.
your sound is like mixing coconut water into different smoothies.
Definitely.
Keeps things exciting and tasty. I love all the flavors that Once Upon a Coconut offers. But artists who experiment with multiple genres, and this is a fact, really reach wider audiences, and that increases your streaming numbers up to 40%. So keep doing what you're doing. Now, you've been online from the very beginning of your career, since you started out by posting singing covers, and almost a decade later, those following and viewership numbers have drastically multiplied, garnering you a true loyal fan base. So for both independent artists and those signed to a label, the digital world of social media has truly, truly changed the game. How do you think social media has shaped your career, and how do you leverage being able to connect directly with your fans online?
I think, especially in today's day and age, as an artist, social media is the center of everything. It's where all of your fans go to see what's next. It's direct promotion. For me, I'm able to connect with my fans from the UK, Brazil, the US all at once, and I'm able to promote. And it's a great and it's a necessary tool in today's day and age. Some would say social media is bigger than a lot of older methods like of promotion. It's everything, and I like keeping people interested and always making new types of content. I've developed my own style of content to where people are always ready for something new.
Yeah, well, whoever told you that is 100% right, because close to 90% of music discovery now happens online. So
Yeah.
you have clearly harnessed the power, turning likes and shares into a loyal following. That's definitely a secret sauce right there.
Absolutely.
Now, you've clearly come a very long way since we last spoke, but I think it's safe to say this is not the last time we're going to be hearing from you. Do you have any exciting plans in the works that we should know about, and what are your main goals moving forward?
You could expect new sounds from me, new music, new content, new videos. I'll be doing performances in the tri-state area, and a couple other things that I'll keep undisclosed for now. But yeah, always expect something new from me.
Now, with the momentum that you've built, it's clear that the only direction is up. Just like good hydration habit, consistency is key. Artists like yourself with clear goals, with a roadmap, we see an output of close to 50% of increase in career longevity. So as an entrepreneur, you're clearly here to stay if you've come this far in just a decade. Now, what advice would you give to aspiring artists trying to break into the industry?
First and foremost, I would say do your best to discover and develop yourself as an artist, as a unique artist. What's going to make you stand out from other artists? That's always the key factor, is what's going to differ you from other artists. And being consistent, developing your own style of content, having a schedule, having a plan, and having goals and knowing how you're going to attack those goals. And not letting any negativity knock you off your path and discourage you. And also being patient and faithful. And I would say, whether you're a religious person, I would say have a good relationship with God and pray. And to me, praying and worshiping God, it answers all the unsolved problems in my life. Honestly, when I'm struggling and whenever I'm trying to figure something out and I don't know, I always know God knows better. So I suggest people to pray. And yeah.
I love your faith, and I love that you are so open and transparent about your devotion to your family, your faith, and really
100%.
just your community. Well, we are at the end of time, my dear friend. Thank you so much for joining us. That was so much fun. We're definitely going to have you come back.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
And we'll be listening out for new beats from Tony Marino. That was our Hydration with Heart segment, brought to you by Once Upon a Coconut. And that was the incredible Tony Marino. Definitely check out his latest single, Hayastan, on all streaming platforms, and stay up to date with his latest songs and performances online at tonymarino.net. But you can check him out on the gram at Tony Marino. That's TONEEMARINO. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.
Hey, we gonna take it up a notch. After this, I'ma hit another spot, take it to another block. Hear my jeweler said I need another rock. John, hi, I stand. You know I gotta represent. Up, that's the only way it's getting sent. Yup, said it once, gotta say it again. John, hi, I stand.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Once Upon a Coconut.
Discover the refreshing taste of 100% pure coconut water that actually tastes great. Naturally sweet with no artificial flavors or added sugar. It's packed with electrolytes to keep you hydrated throughout your day. And with 10% of profits going to charity, every sip makes a difference. Pure taste, pure goodness. Experience nature's Gatorade. Visit Once Upon a Coconut or naturesgatorade.com.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by CO2 Lift. As we age, our skin loses moisture and elasticity, causing wrinkled skin. You can reverse this aging process with CO2 Lift. CO2 Lift utilizes the powerful benefits of carbon dioxide to lift, tighten, and regenerate your skin. This simple, painless at-home carboxytherapy treatment is scientifically proven to reverse the aging process. You will see reduction in wrinkles, increase luminosity, and improve pigmentation, sagging, skin tone, and radiance.
For more information or to order CO2 Lift, ask your skincare professional or go to co2lift.com. Welcome back, beautiful tri-state area. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Up next in the Going Deep segment, brought to you by CO2 Lift, we have one exciting segment. We're going to be headed all the way to the Upper East Side at Lewis Dermatology and Associates right here in New York City. And we're going to be chatting with the doctor herself. Dr. Amy Lewis specializes in cosmetic and laser dermatology. And we're going to chat all things wedding season. Get ready for that wedding weekend, whether it's your day or someone else's that you're celebrating. We're going to chat about the latest laser and skin trends to elongate your neck and give you that instant facelift for the big day. We're also going to chat about how to put some extra honey in your honeymoon. Are you ready? All right, let's go check out Lewis Dermatology on the Upper East Side. Here we go.
Welcome to the show, superstar. Good morning. Thanks for having me. All right, so let's talk about all of the different treatments that you offer your clients. You are a celebrity dermatologist. People love you. I've heard and read incredible things about you. So tell me, what's your specialty and what most patients are requesting these days?
So I do all of the cosmetic procedures to make people feel better about themselves, look better, and in a more restful way to look natural. So we do anything from devices and lasers, neurotoxins, Botox and all the Botox derivatives, all the different fillers, facial sculpting. And for me, I love when my patients walk out feeling good about themselves. They look in the mirror. Sometimes I have to take the mirror away from them when they walk out. And I'm like, they're like, I look good, don't I? I'm like, yeah, you do. And that always makes my day. So having the combination of the devices and the injectables really makes that combination work the best for patients. So I have everything that you want to get rid of or fix. I have a way to do it.
Oh, I love it. I love what I'm hearing. I'm going to become visiting you. Now we're going to talk about CO2 Lift. CO2 Lift Pro is being used in combo therapy across the field of dermatology, pre and post procedures. And it's an incredible treatment, non-invasive skin rejuvenation, if you will. Now, Dr. Lewis, how were you first introduced to CO2 Lift products and how are you currently incorporating them pre and post treatment?
So we also do a lot of skincare and get people on the best skincare regimen to adjunct to the devices and the toxins. And one of the things that I noticed is that people don't know what to do. You know, they go to Sephora, they go to all these shops and they just buy tons of things they don't know what to use. So when I look at someone's skin, number one, sunblock, right? SPF is your BFF. Right? And I tell that to everybody. But then also, what else can you do for your skin to make it more hydrated, to get a more youthful appearance, and also really do something that's working scientifically? So in the past, we had growth factors, retin A, retinols, antioxidants, all these different things that they would buy and put on, which we still do. But This is innovative. This is a new thing. And I brought this in because it does something that nothing else can do. It's a mask, number one, it's non-invasive at all. Minimal like financial output, right? Because it's very affordable. Everybody can do it. You can do it at home. And the more often you do it, the better the effects. So what does it do for you? It increases hydration, as we said before, by 117% as per studies, right? Which is incredible. Increases collagen, both types of collagen in your skin, increases the vasculature in two ways, by increasing more blood vessels, but also dilating the vessels that are there. So it makes it work better, the vessels that are already there. So that gives you healing. So it makes every procedure you do, it makes it heal faster. And because of the increased nutrients with the vasculature, it actually makes the procedure work better. So why wouldn't you want to add this to your regimen, right? So it's something that can be used as a standalone for somebody who just wants some radiance and glow to their skin, or it can be used as an adjunct to a procedure that you're doing in the office. So that's how I brought it in, to be both individual and together.
This is great. Now, I've heard a lot of doctors, and I've interviewed many doctors specifically on the CO2 Lift products, and one in particular, one commentary really hit close to home. It was Dr. Hoyos out of Colombia, and he compared it to a hyperbaric oxygen chamber.
Absolutely. And I tell my patients that all the time. It's like putting yourself in an oxygen chamber. And who can do that? First of all, right? Nobody has the time. It's not affordable. It's just not.
Yeah, good luck finding one.
Exactly. It's very hard to find one. So this is, we used to do carboxytherapy. This is like carboxytherapy, which was injectable in the past. And now it's in a mask form. And I tell my patients, it's like putting yourself in an oxygen chamber, and you can use it anywhere on the body, the face, the chest, the arms, anywhere you're injecting or doing something, and use it vaginally, which we can talk about also, because it's something that's called the V-Lift mask. And that helps in all different regions for sexual wellness, right? So we're talking head to toe, really.
Head to toe, really. And I love that this company has found a proprietary, sustainable, easy method to deliver non-invasive skincare. But let's talk about the vaginal treatment. So demystifying sexual stigma. This is something that I'm constantly advocating for. Women need to be prepared. We need to know whether it's menopause, premenopause, perimenopause. There's a lot of discomfort that comes at any age, by the way. So talk to me about the CO2 Lift V treatment and what that really means for women, who could use it. I know there's studies to the effect of it aiding the pain of lichen sclerosis, which is, rather itchy and a little bit uncomfortable, if you will. So talk to me about the V treatment and what science is behind that.
Absolutely. So one of the things I also want to mention is, we were talking about, this is bridal season, right? So we're talking about things that are good for brides. But it's not just the brides, it's the mother of the bride and the grandmother of the bride and the bridegroom and all the bridesmaids, right? They can all benefit from the CO2 and the V-Lift. So especially what's after the wedding is the honeymoon.
Oh, I want more honey in the honeymoon.
Exactly. That's what it is. It's more honey in their honeymoon. So if you use the V-Lift mask pre-honeymoon, you're going to get more hydration. The sexual intercourse is more pleasurable for both partners, not just the woman. So that's also a nice gift to give your new hubby. And it also stops the dryness. It decreases UTIs, so decreases urinary tract infections. And the itch and any irritation, because again, it's increasing blood flow, increasing hydration, increasing collagen, and actually making a more youthful area there. So that's why the sexual wellness comes into play. Right. And when we're talking about brides, I just have to bring up, because brides are all ages now, right? We have the golden bachelorette. So there's another bride who's in the perimenopause or menopausal, postmenopausal age range. So it's good for brides and non-brides in that area. And
are there any limitations? Can anybody use it? People that are on perhaps hormone therapy, or are there any red flags in your opinion?
Not at all. Actually, it's really a very benign procedure. It's anti-inflammatory. So that's why you were saying with lichen sclerosis it works. It's actually good for somebody who has any issues, because it will help repair that also. Right. So just the opposite, it's color blind, which means you can use it in any skin type, and anybody with any skin irritation, even post-procedure, rosacea, anything that you're worried about, the CO2 Lift Pro or the V-Lift mask is probably going to help.
So the CO2 Lift V can also be applied for penile rejuvenation. And talk to me about the method of application, because I'm sure a lot of people are interested in how do you put a mask down there?
It's actually, that's a good question. It's actually easy. You put it, it looks like a little applicator, like a little syringe.
Right.
And so you just inject it right into the vaginal area. And you can also put it externally on the vaginal area.
And it lifts it all.
Lifts it all.
Okay, I love it. Now, are there any upcoming trends, procedures that we should know about that you've heard of in the dermatology field?
So the two things we were going to talk about today, which again I use a lot for brides and other people also, are my two T's. We have Tixel 2 and Traptox.
Okay.
And the reason I'm bringing that up is because Tixel 2 is the Tixel 2.0. It's a new machine. It is amazing for resurfacing and pigmentation and the little bit of maybe acne scars, irregularity. I actually have done it on my face and neck. It's great for those lines, the tech neck lines. And so it's great to get you ready for any red carpet event, but it's also just good for life. I have gotten tons of compliments on my skin since I've started doing it on myself. And that is, for me, the number one tell.
Yeah. Well, your skin looks fantastic.
thank
Even
you.
up close and personal. She's gorgeous.
Thank you. And so are you.
Thank you.
And then the Traptox, which is the Barbie Tox, which we do along the trapezius muscle, decreases the tension and increases the neckline. So they have a longer neckline, which is great for the strapless dresses or for the brides and in their new bridal gowns. And also makes your necklaces look better.
I love it. Okay, well, we're going to check out Heather. She's having Traptox done in the next 5 minutes, and we're going to go get her reaction. Now, Traptox is something that's been trending for a while. This is a big wedding day special. We're going to have Dr. Lewis explain what women are expecting from this procedure, and more importantly, how we're incorporating CO2 Lift Pro post-treatment, and if it's really, truly changing the effects of the results. We're going to get it firsthand right now from Heather. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, Dr. Lewis, tell us what Traptox is, how you're incorporating CO2 Lift Pro into the post-treatment, and what she's expecting to see result-wise after Traptox.
Sure. So you see, we're just going to move this a little bit. And these are the trapezius muscles right here. And a lot of times people get a lot of bit of tension and they feel like their neck is tight right in these muscles. And sometimes they don't even realize that they get headaches and migraines, and it travels all the way up here, and they attribute it to other causes. But when I do the Traptox, very often it's for elongation of the neck. So the neck looks longer, this goes down, and they have a really nice neckline, great for the wedding dress, right?
Strapless dress.
Yeah,
My
strapless
go-to.
dress is her go-to. And also it's known as Barbie Tox because Barbie looked like she had that done, right? Which is kind of cute. But now we use it for a lot of brides because they want to have that nice neckline when they go down the aisle. So one of the things that I tell my patients, it's sort of like a 3-for-1. They get the long, beautiful neckline, they decrease the tension, and they get rid of their headaches. And for Heather, she actually experienced all three, which was really nice. So what we do is we just inject the Botox right along here, along the trapezius muscle. And the interesting thing is when I look at my patients are very often asymmetric, and they put more tension on one side. So I'll do more on one side than the other, and then they look symmetric. And that's also a nice improvement in their neckline. So one of the issues is sometimes after a lot of injections, it's a little uncomfortable. They have a little bit of swelling. That's where the CO2 Lift Pro mask comes in. We put it on right after. It calms the skin. It really increases the hydration and the vasculature, so the blood flow to the area, which helps it heal much faster. So there's really no downtime at all. They go right back to work. They don't feel like they had anything done that day. And their skin and their neckline actually feels better. And Heather is really good about sun avoidance, but a lot of patients aren't. So when I do the mask here, very often I will also put it on their chest and décolletage, because why not get some anti-aging there? Yeah. Most patients have some pigmentation, sun damage, irregular texture, and this way they're really much more ready for that strapless dress, right?
Yeah. Wow, that's right. That's a lot to live up to. But you know what? CO2Lift.com and their products are exactly that. And what's interesting, as I hear Dr. Lewis speak, it reminds me of some of the information and the research that we've all been hearing about. When you do the research for CO2 Lift, you see the research. It's the science. This has been around since the 1930s, but Since the 1930s, the method of delivery has changed. They used to inject it into the skin, which caused a lot of bruising, a lot of complications. This is fantastic. It's done transdermally, 45 minutes in a mask. You can do it at home. You could buy it online. The Pro is obviously only available at a provider's office. But more importantly, we are seeing use cases for CO2 Lift Pro products across the board, pre and post treatment, and that's what's making all the difference. All right, Heather, you just got trap talks done. Tell me why you chose this procedure.
So I chose this because I've had a lot of tension in my neck, and I found that it's helped with that, alleviating that tension, and also the tech neck that we all are dealing with work from home. I feel like that's helping a lot. It's wedding season, so I have a lot of weddings to go to, and I've gotten a lot of compliments already with how elongated my neck looks. Strapless dresses are looking better on me, and I'm just feeling really good for wedding season.
Oh, you've had this done before. So how long do results typically last?
Typically around 6 months, so it's a lot longer than Botox typically lasts. So if you get it now, you'll be good for half the year and a lot of weddings.
Love it. Okay, now here we have a patient by the name of Rebecca who is going to be doing the Tixel laser. Talk to me about how you're going to be using CO2 Lift Pro in combo therapy with the Tixel laser.
So I love the Tixel laser it's actually the Tixel 2, which is the new generation, which we're the only people in Manhattan that have that machine right now. So we always have the new innovations. I love being on the cutting edge. So the Tixel 2 is a great machine for tightening, for pigmentation, for resurfacing. It's almost like doing, if people know the Fraxel, right? It's like doing the Fraxel with less downtime, better effect, and minimal discomfort. But anything that has a little bit of discomfort, I'm like, why not use the CO2 Lift mask to improve the occlusion of the numbing cream. So I put the numbing cream on usually for 20 to 30 minutes. But now I've been putting the CO2 Lift mask on top, and it does a couple things. It doesn't only just improve the feeling and help the numbing work better, but in the long run, you heal faster.
We're chatting with the beautiful Rebecca. She's getting the Tixel treatment. Welcome to the show, superstar.
Thank you for having me.
All right, are you excited?
I'm very excited.
Okay, so this beautiful machine right here, Tixel. Tell me why you're choosing this procedure.
So I've been seeing Dr. Lewis for years, and I was telling her how I'm really self-conscious about some of the acne scarring that I have on my cheeks from when I was in high school, and then some pigmentation. I have my forehead, around my mouth area, and she recommended Tixel. She said it's great for stimulating collagen, resurfacing the skin, and overall giving you a nice glow.
Now let's address the mask on your face, because this is not part of Tixel. This is the CO2 Lift Pro mask, which I read increases hydration by 117%. And a lot of doctors' offices, big top experts, are now saying that this is the new non-invasive trend. So carbon dioxide therapy for skin rejuvenation was the #3 trend on Google for Q3 of last year. So everyone wants to know what this mask is about, why you're using it in combination with this treatment, and what you're expecting from after you peel it off.
Yeah, so I actually, when Dr. Lewis introduced it into her office, I've been using it for months now. I love it. Every time I have an event coming up during the summer, sorry, Dr. Lewis, but when I get a sunburn, I use it after. But it really helps hydrate my skin, heal it, gives me a nice glow for weeks after using it. And doing it today with this treatment, we put the numbing cream on first, and doing the CO2 Lift mask on top is not only just going to bring me more hydration, but it's also helping the numbing cream work a little bit better.
So it's accelerating the numbing cream. It's helping your face feel, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it feels fantastic right now. Even though I'm numb, it's I'm having trouble speaking. It feels super cooling. I feel hydrated. Even though I'm numbing, I feel like I'm doing a little spa treatment.
So clinically proven and clinically verified, this will increase repair and growth factors. It's going to improve circulation, decrease bruising, increase healing time. So I can't wait to see what the after results are going to look like. All right, I'm excited. Let's do it. Tixel, here we come, baby. All right. The CO2 Lift V treatment is incredible. And Dr. Lewis herself, as you heard her say, loves to try things on herself prior to recommending it to her patients, which I think is a great approach because you definitely have to be a believer. So talk to me about the CO2 Lift vaginal treatment. I know you tried it on yourself. What was your initial reaction?
I loved it. First of all, when you inject it and you feel it going, and it's just very cooling and soothing. And anybody who has any kind of discomfort down there, it's an amazing treatment. I was feeling a little dry at times, and so I felt like this may help, and it was amazing. Now I also do FemTouch in the office, which is vaginal rejuvenation. So this is something that I can also add to that for people who do that. They do that for incontinence and for UTIs and also for increased hydration. But this is something that can be added to that procedure or used alone if someone doesn't need the FemTouch. So I like the fact that we address the sexual health and wellness for my patients. And again, I did the FemTouch on myself because again, I like to try everything, and they both helped together, and the two together helped just, like a synergistic effect. 1 + 1 = 4. So, I think that it's something that we can all use even at a younger age because it stops that dryness that will build over time and the thinning of the wall. So I think it's a no-brainer.
That's great. All right. And now we also have one more patient, which we're going to get her testimonial remotely. Her name is Lauren Cabralista, and she tried the vaginal treatment as well.
Let's dive right in. As a patient of Dr. Lewis's, how has CO2 Lift V been part of your treatment strategy?
As a patient of Dr. Lewis for years now, I was recently introduced to this treatment. I have been using the treatment for about a year now. When I first started, I used it 3 times in the first week, and then I used it once a week for 2 to 3 weeks, and I've been since just doing once a month as maintenance. My symptoms that I've been using this treatment for are not related to dryness or menopause or anything to do with that. I would just say normal aging as you approach your 30s, something that I've experienced, which I think many women and friends of mine also experience, is more instances of UTIs, BV, yeast infections, just a vaginal pH difference that has affected like the flora and the natural health of my body. So for me, after I started using the product, I have actually not had a yeast infection, BV, or had to go on antibiotics for any of these treatments. So it's been pretty instrumental in my life.
Can you provide insights into your experiences with CO2 Lift V and its benefits over time?
So what I can say for myself over time since using the product is that I have not had to use other products to correct the pH for myself, such as boric acid, metronidazole to treat infections, and really a plethora of different antibiotics just to treat whether it's a UTI or BV. So for me, I've just had a better experience with my body naturally using this product to regenerate. And I would say even now it's probably been a couple months that I haven't used it, and I would say that my body is just feeling healthier, and I can tell that the pH is more balanced.
As a woman who's getting married soon, how do you expect CO2 Lift V to help you add a little extra honey to your honeymoon?
As a woman who is excited to be getting married soon, I would say that the nice benefits of this product, besides what I started using the product for, is that it really just enhances the health down there, and really just makes the whole experience much more pleasurable because it's bringing blood flow, because it's bringing added hydration. It really just makes me feel younger, I would say.
What message do you have for women out there nervous to try a vaginal rejuvenation treatment such as CO2 Lift V, and how important do you think it is to demystify female sexual wellness?
In the same way that we are all doing treatments on our face and our body to keep our appearances and outward appearances young and healthy, I would say that there should be no reason that we're not doing that also for women's health and sexual health. I think demystifying that women have to be shy about talking about these things, even if it's just with a provider, I think that stigma should go away, because I think that using a product that's natural, that's non-invasive, that can be used as a maintenance type product, just like anything else that we might be doing for maintenance for our body, I think is really important. Women are allowed to have this conversation and are allowed to have these things related with sexual wellness be an important priority and not be ashamed of that. So I think that this product serves so many different purposes for different people, and it's also just very easy to use in the comfort of your own home.
That was our Going Deep segment brought to you by CO2 Lift. Thank you to Dr. Amy Lewis of Lewis Dermatology and Associates and her patients for sharing their CO2 Lift experience. Definitely be sure to check out Dr. Lewis online at amyblewismd.com and on the gram at Lewis Dermatology. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by CO2 Lift. As we age, our skin loses moisture and elasticity, causing wrinkled skin. You can reverse this aging process with CO2 Lift. CO2 Lift utilizes the powerful benefits of carbon dioxide to lift, tighten, and regenerate your skin. This simple, painless at-home carboxytherapy treatment is scientifically proven to reverse the aging process. You will see reduction in wrinkles, increase luminosity, and improve pigmentation, sagging, skin tone, and radiance.
For more information or to order CO2 Lift, ask your skincare professional or go to co2lift.com.
A Moment of Zen is sponsored by FinTech TV.
FinTech TV, the newest streaming channel focused exclusively on the business of blockchain, digital assets, and sustainability. Broadcasting from our studio on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange with daily reports from NASDAQ, global expansion, and 24/7 coverage. Become part of the launch. Head to fintech.tv/invest. Fintech.tv/invest.
Tune in to A Moment of Zen Saturday nights from 9 to 10 p.m. on 710 WOR, the voice of New York.
Welcome back to this week's Discover Your Potential Express segment brought to you by Keep the Past on A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm Anna DeVere, and today we're celebrating a global game changer who uses artificial intelligence for good. We think of AI as a modern invention, yet some claim its roots go back to the 1940s when Alan Turing first conducted research in the field of machine intelligence. During World War II, Turing played a crucial role in cracking intercepted messages that enabled the Allies to defeat the Axis powers. Across the pond in Lincoln, Massachusetts, another trailblazer was born as Mary Stevens Caldwell Henderson. Mitzi Perdue, as she's known today, describes herself as born ambitious. Her father was the co-founder and president of the Sheraton hotel chain. His leadership and focus would influence her throughout life, but it was the Girl Scout promise that burned bright in young Mitzi's mind: to help people at all times and to act in ways that make the world a better place. She set her sights on journalism, believing in the potential impact of writing about real world problems. Her degrees from Harvard and George Washington University were only the beginning of a lifelong passion for learning. Mitzi's drive to make herself more useful led her to study everything from pediatric first aid to database programming, public speaking, and how to make the best use of ChatGPT. Today, she is a celebrated author, syndicated columnist, global activist, and war correspondent. And yet somehow this octogenarian is continually discovering her potential. When Mitzi recently traveled to the Ukraine and began conducting interviews in bomb shelters, she discovered firsthand some of the more than 1 billion people living with debilitating mental illness. But it was 14-year-old Daria who changed everything. The girl had lost her parents, and in relaying her story to the police, Daria appeared to be completely dissociated from her trauma. Witnessing this, a question dawned in Mitzi's mind. Without proper resources, what would happen to all these children? Today, Mitzi is joined by Klara Kolodorovic in creating a nonprofit open source AI model to provide mental health support in any language, anytime, anywhere in the world. For the pilot launch in Ukraine, they're assisted by a network of mental health professionals who donate their time to help the millions of Ukrainians now enduring mental health issues like sleeplessness, panic attacks, or depression. Their goal is to lend additional support to NGOs and governments, providing traditional therapeutic care, transparently tracking impact and mental health metrics that aid researchers and help fill rather than replace accessibility gaps in one-on-one therapy. Their approach is collaborative, initially based out of universities on the ground, and overseen by a global team to ensure inclusivity. They hope that everyone can benefit from the mental health and community impact they seek to achieve. Please visit their website, mentalhelp.global. That's mentalhelp, HELP.global, to donate and find out more about how you can help. From iHeart to Your Heart, this Discover Your Potential Express segment is brought to you by Keep the Past. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Your Home TV with Kathy Ireland and their channel partners. Head to yourhometv.com for free, family-friendly programming, streaming 24/7.
Are you looking to build a new home? Think about building a barn-dominium. There's just something about getting away from it all. Country living, fresh air, and outdoor entertainment. Watch luxury barn-dominium tours on Your Home TV and let Stacy Lynn, the barn-dominium lady, take you on a journey through her barn-dominium designs.
Tune in to A Moment of Zen, Saturday nights from 9 to 10 p.m. on 710 WOR, the voice of New York.
Well, that's a wrap, my dear friends. Remember to join me right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, every Saturday night from 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern, or you could head to 710WOR.iHeart.com/A Moment of Zen. Also remember that we're live on Traverse TV Sundays at 1 p.m. Eastern, YouTube Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern, and all of our episodes are available on Your Home TV and Kathy Ireland worldwide. It's been an absolute pleasure being your host tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks again to all of our sponsors that continue to make this show possible. And remember that happiness is the only thing that multiplies when you share it. We'll be back next week.